This is Daniel sharing a summary and reflection of The Unexpected by Jack London. Set during the Klondike Gold Rush, the story follows Carter Weatherbee, Percy Cuthfert, and Captain Eppingwell, three men trapped in the Yukon wilderness after their dogs perish and supplies run short. When Weatherbee and Cuthfert are stranded in a cabin for the winter, their personalities clash. Weatherbee is lazy and refined, while Cuthfert is practical and industrious. As starvation sets in, desperation drives them both mad. They quarrel violently, and in the spring thaw, rescuers arrive at a grisly sight. Only one corpse remains, sitting upright in a chair. The unexpected twist is left ambiguous. It's unclear who survived, as the body's features are too wasted to tell. Themes: civilization versus savagery. London explores how quickly civilization's veneer collapses under extreme hardship. Nature's indifference. The Yukon is harsh and uncaring. Human morality means little against survival. Irony of fate. The title, The Unexpected, reflects the dark surprise that fate delivers when pride and rivalry meet hunger and isolation. Here's a narrative retelling of Jack London's The Unexpected. The wind came down from the Arctic that winter like a living thing, cruel and cold, sweeping the Yukon Valley clean of sound. In a lonely cabin buried in snow, two men, Percy Cuthfert and Carter Weatherbee, faced the endless white months ahead. Their expedition had failed, their sled dogs were dead, their food stores low, and the captain who had led them had long since gone downriver, seeking rescue that never came. Cuthfert had been a man of education and polish, used to the ease of drawing rooms and soft chairs. Weatherbee, once a clerk, was clumsy and sullen, a man who complained more than he worked. Now, trapped together with the cold gnawing at their bones, each man saw the other as both burden and rival. Initially, they maintained a fragile truce. Cuthfert mended the roof, Weatherbee chopped firewood, and together they rationed their dwindling food. But the days stretched into weeks, and the Yukon sun rarely lifted above the horizon. Hunger turned their stomachs hollow, and their minds sharp with suspicion. Cuthfert accused Weatherbee of taking more than his share of the beans. Weatherbee snarled that Cuthfert was too proud to fetch water. Their arguments rose and fell with the moaning wind outside. They grew thin, hollow-eyed, and silent. Then the storm came, a white fury that buried the world. For days the cabin shook beneath its weight. When it passed, there was no more food, only the last scrapings of flour and a crust of frozen bacon grease. After that, the men no longer spoke. They sat by the dying fire, watching one another with eyes that had lost all trace of warmth or reason. Weeks later, when the spring thaw came and the rescue party arrived, the snow had melted enough to reveal the cabin door. Inside, the air was heavy with decay. A single figure sat upright in a chair by the cold hearth. His face was shrunken, his hands folded across his knees. The rescuers stood in silence. Time and hunger had stripped away all fleshly distinction. None could tell whether it was Cuthfert or Weatherbee who remained. It was the Yukon's final jest, its unexpected ending to a story of pride, hunger, and the thin line between civilization and the wild. In the frozen silence of the Yukon, Jack London reminds us that civilization is a fragile garment, easily torn when hunger and fear set in. The manners, titles, and comforts we prize melt away like snow before the fire when survival becomes the only law. Cuthfert and Weatherbee entered the wilderness as proud men from different worlds, but hardship leveled them. Pride and resentment became heavier burdens than hunger itself. In the end, the wilderness proved not cruel, but indifferent. It simply waited to see who would break first. The unexpected truth is this: character, not comfort, reveals who we are when everything else is stripped away. Let's meditate on the fire within. Let's sit for a moment in stillness, as if you were in that Yukon cabin. Feel the chill of the outer world pressing against the walls of your heart. Hear the wind's low cry and the creak of the timbers. Then look inward. There is a fire there, small but steady. It is not pride that keeps it burning, nor fear, nor the hunger for survival. It is something more profound, the spark of the divine, the image of God that endures even in hardship. When life grows cold and the days feel long, remember that warmth comes not from the wood we hoard, but from the love we share. The wilderness cannot smother that light unless we let it. So, breathe slowly, thank God for the fire within, and pray for eyes that see beyond the storm to the mercy waiting when the thaw comes.